refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I'm accumulations from practice of giving so forth. May I become a Buddha, the benefit of sentient beings. I go for refuge until enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. So forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Joda Zoge Jonam La Chanju Babu Dani Yapsu Page Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Jola Tenge Sangye Drubara Sho Sangye Joda Zoge Jonam La Chanju Babu Dani Yapsu Page Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Jola Tenge Sangye Drubara Sho Sangye Joda Soge Chonam La Chanju Bardo Dami Kyapsuchi Dage Jinso Gebe Sonam Ge Joda Benjir Sangye Drubara Sho Independent origination, there is no ceasing, nor rising, nor annihilation, no permanence, no coming, no going, no separateness, no sameness. I prosper to the mothers of the hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, wish through the knowledge of all these hearers, sitting messages to complete peace, wish through the knowledge of past, those and with this achieve the aim to the world, and through the possession of which helps to inspire a variety of teachings. The one who is transformed into the reliable guide, motivated by the benefits of sentient beings. The teacher is one protector to your main institution. The one who has eliminated the one bodies of the vast and the profound, who eternally shines forth the forever noble light rays, to you the Buddha main illustrations. Inspired by wisdom and compassion, today the Buddha's presence, I gently demand full awakening for the benefit of all sentient beings. Om Ye Dharma Hetu Pradana Hetum Desham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaya Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaya Swaha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhavam Hetum Tesham Tathagato Yavata Desham Chayo Nirodha Evam Vadi Mahashramanaya Swaha. All phenomena arise in causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. This is the causes as well as taught by the base here. Profound, peacefully, lavishing-free, clear-eyed, and non-composite. As the nectar that Dharma is discovered, finding no one can fathom this teaching in silence of eternal goods. Beyond our trench thought and expression is a perfection of wisdom, which is unborn, unseized, and has the initial space. It is all to apprehension of self-realized wisdom, you the one of the Buddhas of the three times of beauty sense. All composite things is permanent, all contaminated things are the nature of suffering, all phenomena are the nature of emptiness and selflessness, nothing is sorrow is peace. The Gurus of Buddha, the Gurus of Dharma, likewise the Gurus of Sangha, the Gurus of Soul, everything wholesome, I go for a patient Guru. By the sound of the vibrant drum of Dharma, you liberate all beings of miseries. I beseech you to kindly remain and give teachings until the end of the expense of being yours. The Buddha does not want that negative to speak. His spiritual realization is not the path to the dead. It is by teaching the truth of the sustenance that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of four directions to shine out of Dharma for all good and miseries to gloom. You are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. You are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. You are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is nothing, you do not have the view. Okay, today we will read Mana Sutra on the Hour of the Dead. Page 59. Okay, so they say closer towards seeing somebody closer towards death, or say yourself, each one of us closer towards death. What should we be thinking? What kind of reflections do we need to generate? Preparing ourselves. This is what the Buddha taught very clearly. And otherwise we have many rituals and so forth, but see what should be done. What's the real preparation? Let's read it together. The Noble Mind Sutra, Wisdom at the Hour of Death. Homage to all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. As they here at one time, all the blessed one was to be exciting the palace of the King of the Gods in the Akanishta realm. He taught it down to the entire assembly. The Bodhisattva Mahasattva, Akashakarma, and paid homage to the Blessed One and asked, Blessed One, how should we think about the mind of the Bodhisattva who is about to die? The Blessed One replied, Akashakarma, when the Bodhisattva is about to die, you should cultivate the wisdom of the hour of death. The wisdom of the hour of death is as follows. All phenomena are naturally pure, so one should cultivate the clear understanding that there are no entities. All phenomena are subsumed within the mind of enlightenment, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of great compassion. All phenomena are naturally luminous, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-apprehension. All entities are impermanent, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-attachment to anything whatsoever. When one realizes mind, this is wisdom, so one should cultivate the clear understanding of not seeking the Buddha elsewhere. The Blessed One then spoke the following verses. Since all phenomena are naturally pure, one should cultivate the clear understanding that there are no entities. Since all phenomena are connected with enlightened mind, one should cultivate the clear understanding of great compassion. Since all phenomena are naturally luminous, one should cultivate the clear understanding of non-apprehension. Since all entities are impermanent, one should cultivate a clear understanding of non-attachment. Since the mind is the cause for the arising of wisdom, do not look for the Buddha elsewhere. After the Blessed One has spoken, the whole assembly, including the Bodhisattva, Akashakarma, and others who were rejoicing, full of praise for the Buddha's words. Okay. So what this morning what we learned is that to think of what we aspire, we aspire to get rid of the miseries and we aspire to have the maximum happiness. And for that matter, when we speak of the maximum happiness, what we learned is that the secret of happiness lies in your own thinking, your compassion. And finally it lies to what extent you are able to generate compassion with others. Okay, Omananda, you're there. Welcome, Omananda. Nice to see you again. What a joy to see you again. Thank you. Okay, and this is what we learned. That finally, the feeling of love and affection. The more we can expand it, more happy you are. And this happens very beautiful, it's amazing. The feeling of joy that you get out of having a cheesecake, it's just nothing. And the feeling of, the fleeting feeling of happiness related to external factors, there's nothing. Something is coming from inside. the feeling of love and affection, a genuine feeling of concern. Love and affection is so beautiful. And you may feel that, oh, somebody is so compassionate and he or she sacrifices himself. We get a feeling so like if you're losing something. No, these are wise people. The wise are the ones who really embrace others, and then you get maximum happiness. And everybody's seeking happiness. And the one who can get the maximum happiness is known as the wisest person. Who is that? Somebody who can actually get the maximum happiness. Who is that? Somebody who can embrace others with love and affection, unconditionally. That is so beautiful. Okay, but the question is that, can we really generate such unconditional love towards all the beings? Can we generate this? This is a point. So with this, there are two things. One is that, okay, logically speaking, or in principle, if you can cultivate this unconditional love towards all the beings, then your happiness really expands to that extent of the infinity. That's amazing. That is, say, in principle. But can we really do this? This is one question. For this morning, what we learned is that looking at the examples that we see around, we see that the highest point of compassion, highest point of affection that we see in this world through our bare eyes is that the love and affection between mother and child, a tender young child, particularly tender young child and a mother. The tender young child's love towards the mother and the mother's love towards the child. This is what we can see. And yes, we read the books, we see the incredible love and affection demonstrated by the Bodhisattvas, the Buddhas and so forth. Yes, they are there. But to be very honest, we have to begin from what is accessible to us with ordinary beings. We don't get access to the Bodhisattvas' love and affection. We don't get access to the Buddha's love and affection. So we start from what is accessible. From there, when you grow in your own affection, then you can imagine that what is it like to have the Bodhisattva's love and affection? What is that like to have the Buddha's love and affection? You can imagine that. And then at that point, just to get a glimpse of the Bodhisattva's love and affection, you could feel it. The chill will come to your body. You could feel that. This is extremely powerful. But we have to begin from this. What is easily accessible to us, this mother's love, and the child's love towards the mother. Child's love meaning child when the child is particularly vulnerable, age 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at that time. Okay, how did this child cultivate this love and affection? Because of seeing the mother as a source of benefit. Let's not forget it. This is so important. Otherwise, okay, you are following the Mahayana the tradition, you have to practice compassion. Without compassion, you're being very selfish. This is so bad. No, we cannot force like this. This is not how the practice works. It does not really work like this. So, first we begin by saying, I want to get away from miseries. I want to have the maximum happiness. Start from there. Don't feel shy. It sounds as though we're very selfish. It's fine. This is who we are. We have to begin from where we are. And then we see that the secret of the happiness, you become cognitively more active, cognitively more smart. And then who really has this joy and happiness? Intense joy and happiness. You look around, you see the mother and the child. This is the best example. This is the best example. Husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend is very fleeting. Extremely fleeting. It can be very intense at one point, and then the next one can be heated. The worst of the enemies can turn out to be the worst of the enemies. But mother and child, generally speaking, mother and child, when the child is so vulnerable, there this love and affection is so beautiful, it's amazing. If you can, extend this, something, even half of this, even 1/3 of this, 1/4 of this to other beings, the joy that you get is ecstatic. This is the word, ecstatic. It's amazing. In fact, I remember that the feeling of this joy that I get, that I feel with my mother. I lost my mother when I was 5. I don't really have the memory of how the mother gave love to me. But I could feel this tremendous imprint in my mind, tremendous imprint of the love that I got from my mother. I could feel it, not that I have the memory, the vivid memory of my mother taking care of me and so forth. No, only 1 or 2 moments I could, just like a snapshot. What do you call it? Snippets? Or what? For the mobiles they have the screenshots. Like the screenshot, the moments of the mother, holding me, like 2 or 3 moments. Only 3 screenshots, that's it. And this is what I remember. But the imprint must be very deep. Because when I was like class 9, then people, the elders, my relatives, the elder relatives, they start to talk about my mother. And when I was very young, this young child, not hearing anything. One moment, when I was age 9, then the teacher sang a song. The teacher was teaching us a song for the inter-class competition. And the song was, the Tibetan teacher, he was to teach the song to us, and he sang the song, and this song was a very crude song. It's not a beautiful song, but to the ears of this boy, it was a magic. And I could not believe tears flowing down the eyes. Why? Because this was the song which my mother used to sing. And it was so moving to this young boy. Then when I was in class 9, then the elders, they started to talk about your mother is like this, your mother was like that, like this. For no reason, I could not have any memory. But because of this imprints, must be so deeply ingrained in my mind, the love that I got. So it just, for no reason, simply these things are going to tears. So this was what so what I'm saying is that if you look at this is so pure. The mother's love towards the child, and the child loves towards the mother. When the child is really vulnerable, that age, that's so pure. How come that this child generate this love towards others? So in this condition, what I want to say is that what I'm saying is that this love and affection, when you feel it, the joy is what I describe as ecstatic. The one thing that I experienced was when my flight landed in Singapore. It landed at the airport. Suddenly, for no reason, the ecstatic feeling started to come to me. Extremely peaceful. It's extremely beautiful moment of the mind. Extremely blissful, peaceful, calm, very serene. Wow. What is that? What's the reason? It landed at the airport, and then we got off the aeroplane, we deboard the aeroplane, and this feeling was just spreading. Why? Why was that? It's because that I have some friends there in Singapore in those days, some friends there, and they say this friendship is so pure, that just landing, and then it's not just one person, there are several people there. And that feeling is extremely like brotherly, sisterly feeling there. And with several people are there, it's that feeling multiplied. Like 4, 5, 6 multiplied. And because of this ecstatic feeling simply expanded, and it was extremely serene. So, this we will get only if we practice compassion. So sometimes what I felt when I landed in Singapore, this is not because of the practice, it's simply because of the way the child feels toward the mother. Because that the other people, who were genuinely very close to me, when I felt it, then that number is big, and one person multiplied by 4, 5, 6, so then that feeling is expanded within you. So the point is that, and in a like manner, if you can cultivate this feeling of love and affection towards as many beings, then the feeling is going to be ecstatic, and then you will say that the more you feel love and affection towards others, more the
the profound feeling of joy, happiness comes to you. You could feel it. And then for you, like as you're doing things for others, is for your own good, for your own happiness. And if there is one pill, you eat it and you feel ecstatic, right? All the billionaires will buy this. But this pill, you never get it. You have to practice it. You practice it, and if you practice it seriously, it'll take time. Sometimes it can be very demoralizing, that the experience will not come. Knowledge of the Bodhicitta is not difficult, but the invoking the experience, it'll take time. It'll take time. So for this we need consistency, and read more of the Bodhisattva's benefits, Bodhicitta's benefits, compassion's benefit. This is what should be done. So with this in mind, this Bodhicitta on the planet Earth, it was first taught by the Buddha Shakyamuni. And this teaching on the Bodhicitta, how to cultivate this Bodhicitta, there were two traditions came into being. In other words, there were the two methods taught by the Buddha. One is known as the sevenfold cause-effect method. Sevenfold cause-effect method, and the other is known as the method of equalizing and exchanging self for others. The sevenfold cause-effect method and the method of equalizing and exchanging self for others. The two methods were taught. And the first method, the sevenfold cause-effect method, this teaching, it was it was inherited primarily by Maitreya, the future Buddha, the next Buddha. Maitreya inherited this teaching, and he passed it down to Arya Sangha. And from there it came down. Finally it came down to the great Indonesian Bodhisattva, Lama Selingpa. Lama Selingpa, the Indonesian, the great master, Lama Selingpa, who was also a prince. And Lama Selingpa. And also one of his names, some people also called him Acharya Dharmakirti. So which means there are two Dharmakirtis. One the logician Dharmakirti and one the Dharmakirti, the Acharya Dharmakirti, the Bodhisattva Dharmakirti, inheritor of the Bodhicitta teachings. Dharmakirti, or Tibetans we call him Lama Selingpa. Lama means the teacher, the master, Lama Selingpa. And from Lama Selingpa, then Lama Atisha Dipangara Shri Gyana. Lama Atisha inherited teachings from him. And then Lama Atisha brought it to Tibet. So this is how, and today we all receive these teachings from His Holiness so easily. Okay, this is one tradition. Then second tradition, the method of equalizing exchanging self for others, that is what Buddha taught and inherited by Arya Manjushri. And from Arya Manjushri it was passed down to Arya Nagarjuna. From Arya Nagarjuna it was passed down to Bodhisattva Arya Deva, and then eventually down to the Bodhisattva Shanti Deva. And again to Lama Selingpa, then Lama Atisha, and that's how we inherited this tradition. So in other words, Lama Selingpa and Lama Atisha, these two are the points of the confluence of the two traditions. Points of the confluence. The two traditions, they merge, or they confluence at the point of Lama Selingpa and Lama Atisha, 11th century AD in Indonesia. And organized by the Tibetan Buddhist Center, Singapore. The Bodhicitta retreat, which we're doing now. The same was done there organized by Tibetan Buddhist Center, Singapore, in Indonesia. The one was in Bali, and the second one is in Jambi. Jambi was the place where, one of the places where Lama Atisha met with his teacher, Lama Selingpa. So we went there, we chose that place just for that purpose, because all the practices that we are doing, Bodhicitta practices, the two methods, these are all inherited from these two great teachers. So just to express our gratitude to the two teachers, we went there to that place, and to one of the actual sites where the two teachers met. We went there and it was just ruins. Rubbles were there. And we went there and we all took the expression Bodhisattva. We did the teaching there, and mentally we were all expressing gratitude to Lama Serenba, Lama Disha, and we're telling them. So now, all gone. In Indonesia, place where once this great teaching on the, say, Bodhicitta, all these bodhisattvas, like Lama Serenba, Lama Disha, they were all going around in that place, nowhere to be seen now. All gone. So we went there. So like we are talking to two of them, saying that we are your heirs. We came here to continue the torch of your bodhicitta. We are here to carry on your legacy of the bodhicitta to the world. We came here to revive this tradition. So this was what for we went there and did this whole bodhicitta retreat there. It was very moving, the experience there. Okay. So of the two methods, what we're going to do is that we will first do, usually the sevenfold gospel method is taught first, but now for the Bodhicitta retreats, because that now time is short, so I do the method of equalizing the exchange of self for others first, followed by the sevenfold, Methodist and Bodhicitta gospel, the Methodist and Bodhicitta. Okay. The method of equalizing the exchanges of others. So this involves 9 steps. And we need to remember these steps. Yes, we can note them down, and later on we make sure that, particularly in your meditation, we have to remember these steps without looking at the references or the books. I just go through this mentally, step 1, step 2, step 3, and this is how we have to proceed. And then the flow of the affection towards others, the flow of compassion, flow of love will become more and more intense. Okay. Yes.
I didn't understand. You said the method of equalizing
and exchanging. That's exchanging self for others. Okay. The 9 steps are there. The first, equalizing self and others. Okay, note them down and make sure that we have them in a mind, by heart. Equalizing self and others. Number 1, equalizing self and others. Number 2, reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Reflecting on the demerits, D-E-M-E-R-I-T-S, demerits of cherishing oneself, cherishing the self. Number 3, reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. Number 3, reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. Number 4, the practice of taking the suffering of others. The practice of taking the suffering of others with the emphasis on compassion. The practice of taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. The practice of taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Number 5, the practice of giving your happiness to others. The practice of giving your happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. The practice of giving your happiness to others. The practice of giving your happiness to others with emphasis on loving kindness. Number 6, the actual exchange of self and others. Actual exchange of self and others. Actual exchange of self and others. Number 7, special recollection of the kindness of others. special recollection of the kindness of others. Number 9, altruism. And so, number 8, altruism. Number 9, bodhicitta. Okay. These are 9 steps that we need to remember. Okay, so now we need to explain each one of these. For your information, that to go to the state of awakening, the seed of Buddha nature within you, the seed of perfection within you, we need the 2 wings. We need the 2 wings. To cross the ocean of samsara, we need the 2 wings. What are 2 wings? The wing of the wisdom and the wing of compassion. Okay. And for the wisdom, which wisdom? A very precise wisdom. Wisdom to see everything as like illusion. Wisdom to see everything as empty of objective existence. And the compassion, the high density of compassion is bodhicitta, wishing to become Buddha for the benefit of all the sentient beings. The 2. And for information, the great masters, the early masters, what they say is that this wisdom, it'll take a long time for you to study and reflect. It'll take a long time for you to get a comprehensive understanding of the wisdom through study and reflection. Once you have these 2 things intact, study and reflection, very comprehensively intact, then experience of the wisdom will not take you too long. Experience of the wisdom will take it's pretty quick once the study and reflections, these 2 are complete. Then on the other hand, for the bodhicitta, the compassion side, for the bodhicitta, it says that the study is very quick. In other words, you can get a study of the bodhicitta, compassion, how to cultivate this, the benefit of compassion, so forth, benefit of the bodhicitta, and so forth. Within 1 week, you can successfully have a comprehensive understanding of. But of course, you can keep expanding it, but then you can get a comprehensive picture of this within about 1 week. But experience will take time. To get experience, that will take time. It can take years and years and years. Although you practice it consistently with continuous expanding of the knowledge of bodhicitta, still it will take a lot of time to invoke the experience of the bodhicitta. This is the difference. Okay, this is one thing that we need to keep in mind. Number 2, for the wisdom of emptiness, it is advised not to be too creative. For the wisdom of emptiness, let's not be creative. If you are creative, you end up in a different world system. You will not end up in emptiness. You end up in a very different world system, and you think that it's emptiness, and then then you can easily fall into nihilism, you can fall into absolutism and so forth. But for the bodhicitta, because that is not a complex topic, it is not sophisticated. Of course, you can make it sophisticated, but bodhicitta per se is more experiential. We can see many of these aspects in day-to-day life. We can see that our job is just to consolidate all these experiences, put them together systematically, so that you can see that experiences are growing within you. So for this matter, for bodhicitta, you can be as creative. For the practice of bodhicitta, you can be as creative, and particularly what I'm sharing, for example, say many of these points that I'm sharing with you, of course, 9 steps, which should be within the framework of these 9 steps. For the practice of the equalizing and exchanging step, the method, we need to stay within the confined within these 9 steps. And within this 9 steps, you can be very creative, to make it very enriching and alive, to make it very fresh and very alive and very rigorous. You can be creative. Okay. So with this, the first one is what? What's the first step? equalizing self and others. Okay. So this is all analytical meditation. It is not a single point meditation. With a single point meditation, it will never automatically give rise to bodhicitta. Keep this in mind. Without a bodhicitta, say if one does not really practice bodhicitta, just the single point meditation, at times other people can see that a person is a little cold. You know what cold is? Cold person, not really sensitive to you or to other people, Say other person suffering there, and then, oh, I'm very sorry, I have to help you, but it's my time for practice. This is what, very cold, it can happen. And single point meditation may be very high level, but no heart there, heart is missing. So therefore, bodhicitta will never come automatically. Simply by singing single point, or even the wisdom of emptiness practice. Whether you just meditate the wisdom of emptiness all the time, no bodhicitta, don't expect bodhicitta to arise spontaneously. Even with the wisdom of emptiness. The Shravakas and Predic Buddhas, we talked about Arhats yesterday. Non-Buddha Arhats, of the Shravakas and Predic Buddha Arhats. So they meditate, the experience of emptiness is just amazing. But they don't have this heart of the bodhicitta for others. So, practice of the wisdom will increase your compassion, but at a certain point it will remain static. And then from there to go further, you require the unique practice of the bodhicitta, without which it will not improve any further. Okay, so the first one. So this is all the analytical meditation. It's not a single point meditation. These are all analytical. Your mind should be as creative, as analytic. It should be these are all very analytical meditation. And for this, at times, you can feel so demoralized that I follow all these steps, but nothing is really coming. It's like it has become so mechanical, like a table water being played, and then no experience at all. At times it can be very demoralizing. So under such situation, if you are very sincere, a serious practitioner, and if you get stuck there, don't say that I get stuck in 1 week. Right? 1 week practice is nothing. After several months, several years of practice, you get really stuck there, and then you must refer to, at least some teachers who actually practice this. Simply because somebody is a teacher doesn't mean that the person practices that. Teacher who teaches you meditation, or the single point meditation, cannot teach you bodhicitta. You getting it? Cannot particularly solve your bodhicitta problems. So for that, we need to read the biographies of the great masters who actually practiced bodhicitta. So what did they do? And then you read this, particularly, let's say that, initially I would suggest that the words of my perfect teacher, by Zapaturi Mushem, this would be very good books. And then when you become very specialized in your practice, when you know all the steps, and then still when you get stuck, then Lama Tsongkhapa's book would be excellent. Particularly when you go into the practice, you know all the steps. Whatever is said in the other text, you already know that. You get stuck, then you have to read the Lama Tsongkhapa's book. So these fine tunings will be what you find in Lama Tsongkhapa's book, in the Lamrim. The first one is words of my perfect teacher. The words of my perfect teacher. Just note it down, and the author is Zapaturi Rinpoche. Yes.
We talked about single-pointed and analytical. So single-pointed, we would say shamatha.
Yes.
Sanskrit, right? What would be the Sanskrit term for analytical?
Analytical, we call it vipassana. Vipassana, but they don't confuse this with the vipassana, the 10-day vipassana course. That's very different. 10-day vipassana course and analytical meditation that I'm talking, these are very different. 10-day vipassana course, this is a very good practice, but it doesn't mean that this is the vipassana that I'm talking about. It's very different. You getting it? Okay. The vipassana, which the 10-day vipassana course, this is more like shamatha meditation. It's more like a shamatha. It's not as the vipassana that you find taught in the Nalanda tradition. It's very different. Okay, it doesn't mean that Nunnery tradition is superior and the other one is inferior. This is not a connotation. Only thing is that don't mix up the two traditions. You have to know the two things very discreetly. With the same label, the meanings are very different. Therefore, not to confuse people, I don't use the word Vipassana in the context of the Nalanda tradition. In the Nalanda tradition, I just said special insight meditation. I don't use the word Shamatha, the Vipassana, because people get confused. So, okay, yeah, Vipassana I do, I 10 days course. Whereas the Nalanda Vipassana is a Vipassana which you can start only after you successfully practice the shamatha meditation. Okay. So this is a pure analytical meditation. So where you are the cognitive, the thought process must be kept very active. Cognitively must be so sharp, dexterous, agile, and creative. Okay. So the first one, equalizing self and others. So this, in one way we are equal, I and others are equal. So usually what is our attitude? Say if you are acutely thirsty, hungry, and if somebody asks you, okay, who likes to have this piece of bread? When you're acutely hungry, you say, I'll have it. Which means that we feel that we are not equal and more important than others. This is our attitude. So first we have to make our mind, tone down our mind of the sense of, the sense of self-reference, self-referential, the self-referential attitude that I, that should be mitigated, that should be calmed down first. So how to do that is to tell our mind that by no means I'm more important than others. We're all equal. We're all equal. Okay. How we equal? The first is that if I ask you who's like to have this bread, if you're acute, there are like 10 people who are all equally hungry, and ask who's going to have this bread, you said, I'll have this bread. My question to you, I'll give the bread only if you can give me a unique answer. Why do you want the bread? Why not others? What will you say? I'm hungry. Others are equally hungry. What's a special reason that makes you deserve this bread? What special reason? No special reason. Only reason that you have is that I'm hungry. I'm acutely hungry. Others also acutely hungry. So from that point of view, that the only thing that you will say is that I don't want suffering. I have this pain. Others also don't want suffering. They also have the pain. So we are all equal in not wanting suffering and wanting happiness. This is one point that we need to keep in mind. We're all equal in wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. And the more we think that I'm more important than others, this is the cause of your misery. That creates a problem. For example, if somebody does not pay you more attention as compared to others, you'll be agitated. Right? Whereas if you don't have this expectation, we're all same. Or somebody gives attention to him more, her more, it's fine, we're all equal. It's not that I deserve it, that I deserve more attention from others. No, we're all equal. Because we're all equal in wanting happiness and not wanting suffering. Right? Okay. Now tell me, 2000 years ago, when the whole world is where you find kingdoms, empires, everywhere, the kings. So then, in the era of the kings, say that the prince, the child, the son of the king is considered very important. Why? You know what? Don't say that we're all equal. Don't say that. Be very, realistic. In those days, you cannot say we are equal, right? The small child of the king would say, I'm more equal than other, the equals. Okay. So why he's considered so important? Anybody? Why?
Because he will become the next king.
Because he's going to become the next king. And king is very important. He's holding the lineage of that king. So therefore he's so important. And we all can hold the best of the lineage. What is that lineage? Buddha's lineage. We all can become Buddha. We all have the Buddha nature. Right? So we all equal in having the best of the lineage, best of the potential. To become king or to become Buddha, which is more important? To become Buddha is the most important. By becoming Buddha, you can benefit all the beings. By becoming king, you don't know. You can corrupt you can exploit the people rather than helping them. I'm not sure, right? So the point is that why the prince is considered very important is because that he's going to become the king, and king is the most important person in this empire, the kingdom. Then, amongst the beings, from all the beings, the enlightened ones, the Buddhas, they are the most important beings who have perfected their qualities, who can benefit all the beings. And each one of us, we have the potential to become them. We are all like the prince or the princess. Right? And the most treasured prince or the princess. Because we have that seed to become a Buddha. So from that point of view, we are all equal. There's no one who is superior, no one who is inferior. We are all equal from that point of view. Number 2. Then number 3. Number 3, that if others realize, okay, just imagine that there are 2 people and one person. They say you are, both the people are strangers to you. And say and other from the 2 strangers. One, you could feel that one is little judgmental of you, right? And the other one is not at all judgmental. Other one is so smart, other one knows your weaknesses, your strengths, but always look at you from your good qualities, appreciate your good qualities. And you could feel the warmth there. Okay, now tell me, which of the 2 person you feel closer? The one who, who's not judgmental of you. You're getting it? You could feel the person's warm. Now imagine all the beings, they have the seat of, they have the Buddha nature, the seat of perfection. So why is someone so judgmental? Right? Why are so if they have the Buddha nature, how come that they are very judgmental, unkind, rude? How come? Because that Buddha nature is hidden by the mental defilements, affective obscurations and cognitive obscurations. More the mental defilements, the person suffers more. In other words, the more the person is judgmental of you, the more the person is suffering. Just imagine that one day the person discovers that the mental defilements are the ones which torment me, which torture me. I should get rid of these mental defilements. Once this person, the one who is so judgmental of you, so rude to you, if that person one day removes all the mental defilements, now will the person be judgmental to you, or will the person will embrace you? The person will embrace you with total love and affection. Just imagine that if everybody awakens the Buddha nature, everybody will embrace you. They will equally embrace you. We are all equal in that sense. Everybody has the equal potential to embrace you with love and affection. Okay, so reflect on these 3 points. We see that you feel more connected with the beings, that I'm more important than others. That attitude will be toned down. Okay. So, in other words, this practice is grounded on the principle that to subdue your self-centered attitude and to encourage your adhicharish mind. Right? Adhicharish mind is what? Feeling close to other beings. Feeling close to those other beings, you become happier. This is what you're seeking. And self-centeredness, what is the opposite force of adhicherishing? What's the opposite force of adhicherishing? Adhicherishing, which makes you so happy. What's the opposite force? What's the opposite force of that? Self-cherishing. So more self-cherishing, less adhicherishing. Less adhicherishing, less happy you are. But we want to be more happy. If you want to be more happy, you should be adhicherishing. More adhicherishing should be there. To have more adhicherishing, you should have less self-centered attitude. You're getting it? So in other words, self-centered attitude is the one which really ruins us, which really makes us, destroys our happiness, which really puts us into the prison of samsara, prison of the acute pains, self-centered attitude. So, all our practices should be directed towards seeing the demerits of cherishing oneself and seeing the merits of cherishing others. Okay. So what happens if you join a company? If you join a company and somebody tells you that, oh, your colleague, that person A, that person is extremely rude, extremely cunning. You should be watchful of that person, right? So day one you join there, person A. That person A is very rude, very cunning, and will always try to pull you down. So the day when you join there, you identify the person A. What is your reaction? What would be your reaction? Tell me. Huh? Aversion. Yes. Aversion. And then say, every day you have to mix with that person A. Every day you have to work with this person A. And you come to know that this person A is, okay, day one, very nice. But you already got a very bad impression of person A from your friend. And what you notice is that day by day, person A demonstrates the consistency in his good qualities, right? And the more and more you see good qualities, what happened to your reaction to the person A? It changes. The earlier the aversion is there, now aversion dissolves. You feel sorry, right? You feel sorry. You just feel like helping. You just feel like befriending that person A, rendering help to the person A. Seeing the good qualities there. You're getting it? So the point is that, and whereas they say, this is what happened in my life. I've seen many of these things happening. And with the other people there, and this where I personally would say that person A is very good, person B is very good. Now two of them are going to be the same company, so two of them will be will click each other. And I would say that, hey, person B, you must go to person A. Person is very good. When they meet, they become deadly enemies. So some people click, some people they don't click, right? Okay, so. But this point is that the more you see the demerits, the more you see the faults and the mistakes of the person A, what happens to your attitude? Hey, more aversion arises to person A. The more you see the qualities, the more you keep seeing the qualities of person A, what happens to your attitude? Aversion dissolves and affection builds up. Closeness builds up. You getting it? Okay, so with this, idea is your job. If somebody were to ask you, what is Mahayana teaching? Right? Answer is to see the demerits of cherishing oneself and to see the merits of cherishing others. This is Mahayana teaching. If somebody were to tell you, what is the Mahayana teaching? You're getting it? Because why you have to see the demerits of oneself, demerits of cherishing oneself? Because cherishing oneself is the cause of all the misery. Cherishing others is the cause of all your happiness. What do you want? Happiness or miseries? If you want happiness, you have to embrace the cause of the happiness. What is the cause of the happiness? Cherishing others. And if you don't want suffering, you have to shun the cause of the suffering. What's the cause of suffering? Cherishing the self. So, we have to learn how to see the demerits, how to see the drawbacks, how to see the faults of cherishing oneself. More and more, the more you see the faults of cherishing oneself, the more you feel averse to cherishing oneself. The more it's a beautiful practice. You don't have to force. Practice compassion. You don't have to force. Naturally, compassion will be displayed for your own selfish benefit. Because you know that I don't want suffering. I'm suffering created by self-centered attitude. And what? I say, for example, if you don't like person A, and if the boss is about to fire the person A, will you be happy or not happy? Very happy. Right? Likewise, if you see any force which can diminish the power of self-centered, you will be very happy. What is that force? Cherishing others. More you cherish others, more the power of the self-centered attitude will become weak. It will become weak. So the moment you see the cherishing others, you feel as though like you are my savior. You're getting it? You are like my savior. Okay. So whereas say the cherish oneself, you are my destroyer. Right? You are my destroyer. Cherishing others, you are my savior. How savior? Because you are the one who destroys my destroyer. Other cherishing destroys my destroyer. What is my destroyer? Self-centered attitude. So the more I take refuge in other cherishing, more I can stay away from this self-centered attitude. More I stay away from self-centered attitude, more I am away from the miseries. It's a beautiful practice. Right? Okay, how many are fed up with feeding yourself with breakfast? We never feel fed up, right? We feel excited. Except for some people who do not want to work. Right? If somebody is there to feed you with the breakfast, right? You always look forward to it. Particularly cheesecake, whatever you like. Right? You will look forward to that. Okay, so our job is to look for the merits of cherishing others and demerits of cherishing oneself. The more you're able to do that, then this is the mind of practice. This will say when you cherish others, when you help others, you don't get the feeling that I'm doing something, I'm doing a favor for you. This will not come. When you get the feeling that I'm doing a favor for you, you will easily end up in burnout. When I'm doing a favor for you. Whereas when you do something good to other people, you are doing a favor for me. Why? How? When you do good to other people, that a feeling will come to you. If you succeed in this practice, a feeling will come to you that you are doing a favor for me, not that I'm doing a favor for you. How? Makes sense? Because by me doing something good to you, that helps me to undermine my self-centered attitude. Undermine self-centered attitude, it is saving me from miseries. You're getting it? So you are doing favor for me. So what do you feel? You are doing favor for me, you feel burnout or you feel happy? You feel happy. You are doing something for me. You're very happy. Whereas I'm doing something for you, you feel happy or not happy? I'm doing for you. Okay, I'm doing for you. Okay, today I'll do it. Right? Okay, tomorrow, there are other people who can help you. Right? But when you see that, you are doing something for me, tomorrow also you go to help because you are doing something for me. Do you want people to do for you every day or just one time? If possible, every day. Right? So good things should happen to you in as much number on a large scale as possible. So the more you do that, that is charity. And in whose hand is that? The others, let's say for example, others do a favor for you in ways that when you do something good to other people, then you feel that others are doing favor for me. So in this context, others doing favor for you, in whose hand is that? In your hand or others' hands? In others' hands? Or in your hand? For example, let's say that, okay, I don't get the breakfast. Right? So I have to wait for, let's say that, Ninjala, can I get a breakfast? So it's in his hand, right, to give me breakfast or not. Whereas, which means that he's doing favor for me. Whereas I give him breakfast and I feel that he's doing favor for me. So he doing favor for me in this context, it's in my hand or in his hand? It's in my hand. You are getting it? So remote control is in your hand. You are happy or not to have the remote control in your hand? You are getting it? So saying that people are doing favor for me. Don't wait for somebody else to do that for you. You do it. Make that as somebody doing favor for you. It's beautiful. And that is in your hand. Right? You can help as many people. So all the more the help that you give, the more the favor they are doing for you. Right? You can feel that. So that way you see that it is in your hand. It's beautiful practice. That make others do favor for you. Where the control is in your hand. That you do it, and that is what suffices others doing favor for you. You're getting this beautiful practice. Okay, could you follow what I'm saying? Could you follow this? It doesn't make sense. If it makes sense, and then you do the practice, it's going to be very effective. If it does not make sense and try to force it, then it's going to be like, I'm doing favor for you, not that you're doing favor for me. When that happens, you will end up into burnout. You're getting it? So this is why the mothers don't feel burnout, and the nurses, other people who are doing something for you, they feel burnout. Yeah, it's not that the doctors, nurses, they don't have good heart for other people. It's the same thing for us, for you. To do something for yourself, you don't feel burnout. But for you to do something else for somebody else, you feel burnout. You're getting it? Okay. So this is the crux of the practice. Now to go into more detail, then we have to do the steps. Step 1, visual jump, equalizing self and others. The first one is that to cherish you, that is, when I cherish you, you are doing favor for me, not that I'm doing favor for you. To reach that level, that's not easy. We are so addicted, we are chronically, we have chronic illness of self-centered attitude. And this will never accept this, that I do something for you and this is like you doing favor for me. No, I'm doing favor for you. This is our self-centered attitude. So to jump to that level is not that easy. So we have to take the first step. First step is equalizing. Okay, they are not more important. We are equal. So which is easier for you to say? We are equal or you are more important than me? Which is easier? We are equal. That is easier. So that's the first step. Once you say we are equal, then you already jump the first step. When you know the first step, then go to second step is easy or not easy? Easy. You getting it? From 0 step to second step is easier, or first step to second step is easier? First step to second step is easier, rather than 0 to second. 0 to second is like you jump and then you can fall, right? Okay, so because there was the one person, if you directly jump to, oh no, I have to cherish others, if this is what you do without equalizing yourself and others, if you do like this, then you can potentially become one like this person. What is that person? This is what happened in Tibet. Perhaps like 100 years ago. There was one teacher, there was one businessman, a very successful businessman. He so happened to grab the biography of Lama Jismilarepa. Do you know Jismilarepa? Who's that? The great teacher who became enlightened within a single lifetime, who gave up everything, was always found in the mountains, meditating, with no guarantee for the next food, right? Meditating and became enlightened. So this businessman happened to get the biography of Jismilarepa. He read it. He was so inspired. I must become the second Jismilarepa, right? Then what he did, that he distributed all his properties to his friends, to his relatives, just everything. And then people are so surprised. What are you doing? You're crazy. No, I'm going to become second Jismilarepa, right? How will you do that? I'm going to go to mountain and meditate, like how he did. So he gave everything. Then he went to the mountain. He meditated. What is meditating? Day 1 is fine. I'm going to Jismilarepa. Day 2, then hunger comes in, right? Usually he has servants, and no servants coming, no food. Okay. Then in the night he starts to feel cold, no blanket. Usually he has all these richly, the ornamented, the brocades, the blankets, quills are there, with warm. Then no blanket now, feeling cold, hungry, right? And dark, no light. And then he realized that, okay, what I'm doing? I'm not just a Milarepa. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I'm feeling cold, and no blanket. Right? Okay. What's the difference between me and a rabbit? Rabbit also sitting like this. I'm sitting like this. Same, mentally, empty, both empty. Right? A rabbit also sit like this. I sit like this. This is the only difference. Otherwise, mentally, both the same. Nothing is there. Then he became so angry after a few days. He said that Geshe Miller, he is a beggar. He made me a second beggar. You're getting it? So, if you don't take a very systematic steps, you jump from step 0 to step 2, you will fall very dangerous. So we have to take the proper steps. The first step is, okay, it's not that you're more important. It's not that you're more important, right? So we are what? We're equal. So it's easier from jumping from I'm more important than you, first step, from 0 step to the we are equal. Rather than I'm more important to you're more important. Right? I'm more important. If you from the you jump to you're more important, then you'll crash. Your mind is not ready. So prepare yourself that okay, I'm more important than you. This is our thinking. No, this is not good. This destroys you. It steals your happiness. It steals your peace of mind. But then what should I do? You should cherish others more. But okay, we're all equal. Oh, that's fine. I cannot cherish others more, but we're equal. I understand it. So that is easier. You move then from 0 to 1. Then from 1 to 2 is easy. 1 to 2 is like going from 0 to 1. It's very similar to going 1 to 2. It's just one step each. You're getting it? This is how we have to practice it. Okay, we'll stop here.
Bodhisvara